Today we're going to talk about and demonstrate working on the eye area. Often we show our age very quickly around this area, so we're going to perform what I call a non-surgical eye lift using 3 different modalities. One is microdermabrasion, the other is our smooth sculpt machine, and the third is microcurrent. We thoroughly cleansed Sandy's face, and now we're getting ready to do the instant eye lift. So we're going to do a mechanical exfoliation with the microdermabrasion and just loosening all the dead skin cells and the debris around the eye area.
I know a lot of people feel like they don't know how to do microdermabrasion around the eye area. They wonder if it's going to be too strong, but actually when you can control the levels of suction, you can get it to be mild enough so that it takes off the dead skin and gets rid of the crepiness under the eyes. And at the same time, it'll stimulate the drainage so that the puffiness goes down to a certain degree. A lot of times the dark circles will lighten. And then when you're going around the eye, as you're doing now, right through the eyebrow and above the orbit area, you can actually work to lift the part of the upper eye that starts to droop. So you can really get close to do that. You can also get in the corner of the eye, especially for people that wear glasses a lot. There's congestion in that area, and it tends to have a buildup there. So you can go right up into that area there, underneath where a person's glasses are, clean out, and you'll be able to lift and open the whole eye. And just being gentle, not locking on, of course, and the temple area too, where the eye holds up, because that's where, if you were going to look in the mirror and you wanted to give yourself an eye lift, you're going to pull right there. So right in that area, work with the microdermabrasion to start that collagen build up.
How does that feel, Sandy?
Feels great. I love it.
And if you can look between the right eye and the left eye, you can see how much more smoother, just with a few passes using the microdermabrasion.
Exactly. Already
how
I can
much
see
more smoother it is. In the end of the eye, the outside of the eye, as well as there's more of a lift from the back, from where I'm sitting, there's more of a lift around the orbital area here. So.
Right. I'm just going in for a close-up, and it's visible already.
Very gentle passes. Do not be intimidated by this. This is an amazing treatment for under the eye area.
You'll notice Karen's not staying, and she's not long, and she has her suction down low because you don't want to in any way grip.
And you hold the skin tightly. This is great lymphatic drainage. Go out again. Going above the orbital area. Bringing it upward towards the forehead, because this area has a tendency of drooping down because of the gathering of fluid, which we know is water retention. So we're bringing that up towards the forehead, doing a little lymphatic drainage, and above the eyebrow. And again, now this eye appears to me, the left eye, more even, just like the right eye. It's smooth. The skin is smooth
beautiful.
under the
and if somebody
eye
had
area and above.
Excuse me, and if somebody had the deep 11s or anything like that, you would then be able to give that extra focus for the lift in between the brow area, and to refine where those deep lines are. Sandy doesn't have that, but many people do, or at least they have the beginning formation of those lines.
And even if they don't have that, it's actually very good as a proactive or preventative measure, because we're stimulating collagen and elastin. So,
and I noticed that you're focusing as well on the top of the brow, where sometimes gravity will start to pull and congest down in that area to also make the eyes look tired.
Tired and droopy.
Thanks. It feels wonderful.
Now I'm going to move on to the microcurrent. Okay, now we cleansed Sandy's eyes. We removed all the excess debris from the microdermabrasion crystals, and now we're applying the conductor gel around the eyes. What we do when we do microcurrent, we have to keep this eye area or the areas of the face very wet, very moist, so the microcurrent can work effectively. And I love microcurrent because it works on the muscles of the face. In this case, we're doing the orbital area, or the muscle which is called the orbicularis oculi. I also want to do the frontalis muscle, which is the muscle in the front, the forehead muscle, because as this begins to droop, so do the eyes. So when we're keeping this foundation tight and taut, it further enhances and strengthens the muscle around the orbicularis oculi, which we're also going to work with.
Microcurrent is another one of those technologies that's great for stimulating the congestion underneath the eye.
And it's great for stimulating what's called ATP, which is a buzzword in our industry, which is adenosine triphosphate. And as we get older, we begin to lose that. It's a really important component of cellular energy. I call it cellular rocket fuel for the mitochondria.
With this system, we're using a rather large ball. We found that just covers a larger area and is a little easier to use.
Are we okay, Sandy?
Yes, we're great. It's so relaxing.
It is relaxing. Relaxes the nerves. It's very nourishing to the cells.
Just feels so nice.
A lot of people with headaches always talk about how it really helps release the tension. It's funny how many aesthetic technologies and treatments work on the health and wellness level at the same time as they're doing something that's going to be making you look great. They're also making you feel great. And that's a lot of what we're about, is developing those techniques and procedures so that our beauty treatments are just as positive on the inside. We call this move the little pinch. This is a little eyebrow pinching.
It's great for bringing up the corner of the eyes because that begins to droop also as we get older. I love this technology because many women are so concerned about building their muscles and toning their muscles of their body, making their bodies look beautiful, tight, and toned. Yet we fail to exercise the muscles in our face, which are equally as important as exercising the muscles throughout our body, because that keeps us young looking, more youthful, giving us an illuminating effect. It's also moving around lymph, which is what exercise does.
That sound in the background is the indicator as to when the current is actually moving.
And Sandy, do you feel anything, or do you see these little strobe lights? You should.
I see a little, like the flashes.
Okay.
Yes.
That means it's working.
Mm-hmm. I could see how it would be a stress reliever. It's amazing.
And what's nice too is that it's also putting a radiance into the skin, so that as the afternoon goes on in the evening, you'll feel your face is so bright and alive. It'll look that way too, but you'll also feel very, very invigorated, very focused.
Okay, we just completed a small version, tiny version of the microcurrent around the orbital area, and you can see the difference between the right and the left eye. Once again, it looks much more lifted and much smoother around the lower part of the eye.
So here we are. So you can see how the brow is lifted on the one side and the corner of the eye is lifted, and you can just see the brightness of the eye.
And also, if I can add, this area looks more open. It's wider than here. You can see there's more puffiness in this area, and it just looks much smoother.
We're going to show you how another piece of equipment can work on the eye area. We've done the microderm, we've done the microcurrent, and now we're going to use the smooth sculpt for the ultimate in drainage.
We're using an amazing product called the Collagen Complex Cream, which has peptides in it, as well as other highly nutritive products for the skin, and it works well, very well with the machine. I love the smooth sculpt because it helps to further drain the lymphatic system. In this case, we're working around the eyes as well as the face. It helps to tighten and tone the area once again, and it helps to create even a nicer lift under the eyebrow area, the orbital area. So it's draining, lifting, toning, and stimulating collagen. So it's a multifaceted technology, and I don't really do without it in any of my treatments. The Smooth Sculpt is an enhancement treatment when doing any type of facial, but it's also a great treatment by itself. So we're going to work the eye area on what we call fast mode, just gently pulsating around the orbital area. How does that feel, Sandy?
Feels good.
Holding the skin tight, making direct contact with the skin. This is great for breaking down any fat or fluid under this area and draining it out through the lymphatic system.
Also, when there's a lot of fluids trapped under the eye, it's very hard for the skin cells to get the nourishment to the skin. It's as if there's a blockage there. So when you remove the fluids, then the skin cells can actually feed that skin, and it really will eliminate a lot of the crepiness that exists when eyes are filled with fluid. So you'll see the skin tighten under the eyes as well, which contributes to a more youthful appearance and bright eyes and expression. And then when you work on the top, where Karen's working right now, and you get rid of that excess fluid, the pull on the skin is eliminated, and the skin can naturally lift up to its more natural state. That is an unbelievable way to change the appearance in one treatment.
It's one of the only technologies where you can go very close to the eye without it hurting the client in any way or being uncomfortable to the client.
Oftentimes you can just put your hand over the eyeball area so it really defines exactly where you're working. All of the things that we're showing here, the microdermabrasion with the wand, the microcurrent with the tools, the smooth sculpt with a wand, these are all tools that can be used for sculpting. We always think about the healing arts, the beauty arts as an art form, and when you use these tools to sculpt and redefine the face and get rid of any unnecessary bulges or distortions and bring the contour of the face back, it's like you're a sculptor using tools. So that makes it all the more enjoyable for you as well while you're working on clients, to be able to see the face transform and the skin take on new light and new life.
Feels good, Karen. It really does.
It's an extraordinary treatment because it helps to stimulate endorphins. Even if you work in this area alone, clients feel very relaxed. You could see just sitting behind them, their body language, it just goes into a state of relaxation. It's extremely detoxifying for the face and the skin. I like to call myself an aesthetic sculptor because, as Isabel said, we are actually not just working on the skin, but we're working on the anatomy of the face. Which is really where the true beauty begins. The skin is just a reflection of what's happening underneath.
We have acupuncture at our spa location, and we're always talking with her about how many meridian points we're actually affecting when we work on the eye area and the forehead area that are actually creating internal balances and cleansings even in the intestines in areas where we're not working on directly but that are being affected by the facial work that we're doing.
Again, this area is more around the eye, the orbital area. It's much more open, wider. There's less crepiness on the right side, under the right eye versus the left eye. This appears more open. This area here appears more open. The eyebrow is more lifted because we worked not only on the eye itself, but the forehead.
I definitely see the corner of the eye lifting up.
This area.
Mm-hmm.